Africa has a rich heritage of statesmen. Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, and I could go on. Leaders who decades ago foresaw the unstoppable power of a united Africa. We must rekindle this dream because now more than ever, we are in a position to make it a reality. You are now the custodians of this dream, this idea envisaged by our forefathers. With the technology available to us today, it is very possible to build one African market. It is possible for an idea to rise in Nairobi, arrive in Lagos by midday, and Cape Town by sundown, and vice versa. It is possible to develop, respect, and appreciate our various cultures through social media. We can exchange ideas and learn from each other every day. This is what our forefathers wanted for us. That we need to eliminate processes of visa requirement for African countries as we strive to ensure the attainment of Africa's borderless commerce. I am very persuaded, and we all know what borderless countries have done. Look, the people who taught us about visas, because we didn't have visas, our good brothers from Europe came and taught us about visas. And I addressed the European Parliament a few weeks ago. A population of 450 million people, 27 countries. Today, the visas they told us, or they taught us, they themselves have abolished visas in 27 countries. They today are borderless. They are visaless. 450 million people. Explain to me why we should continue to have visas.
Let's stop there for a minute. Let's address this really quick. He's 100% right. The Europeans brought division on the continent when in the Berlin Accord in 1884, 1894. One of them, when they divided Africa for the resources, because according to them, they didn't want to go to Africa and fight over Africa. So they devised a plan to divide the continent. Hence, you have so many countries in Africa right now. Then now, they instill Latin Africans that one country better than the next, so don't let them come over. So they instill a division and now instill visa requirements. While, as he rightly said, they themselves don't have visa requirements in Europe. But all European countries can travel within each other with this ID. They don't even need their passports. And if an African need to go to Europe, you have to go through a whole lot of hoops to get all kind of visas. Not only visas, they want to know your whole life history, police record, everything, the whole shebang. While they can just jump on a plane and go to Africa, which we find is wrong. So what President Ruto is saying here, I agree with him 100% because he is the only president so far on the continent that has, no, not only, one of the only presidents that Kenya will be visa-free come January 1st, 2024, where all African citizens can travel to Kenya without visa, and also Caribbean people and African Americans will be able to go to Kenya without visa requirements, no visa requirements. And Rwanda also have this as well. Rwanda is starting the same program where Africans can go to Rwanda visa-free, Caribbean diaspora, the whole entire Caribbean and Black and African American as well. So that's a good point, and he's leading when it comes down to that. So let's finish the video and then discuss this some more. Boom.
Us in our continent, when those who taught us about visas have abandoned them. But even as we do this, I like what the second lady said. We must also mind about the mental, the sexual, the reproductive health of the young people of our continent because they are our children. The total well-being of our youth is paramount for the attainment of our socio-economic aspirations. In this regard, we must invest in youth-friendly healthcare services, promotion of preventive measures, and address the vulnerabilities that exist around mental health, around sexual health, and around reproductive health. By expanding access to mental health services, providing comprehensive sexual education, and promoting gender equality in healthcare, among other initiatives, we will improve the complete wellness of our youth, allowing them the energy and freedom to focus on socio-economic development. I believe this change is coming because the old Africa, the one that was defined and defined itself by challenges, the one that glorified its problems and sought external solutions, that Africa is fading away. We are in a new process of creating a new Africa, one that is founded on a rock-solid belief in our own capacity.
So there is that's the end of the video. So he's trying. We need to get a handle on the reproductive issue as well on the continent, and also the mental health. We as black people don't have that big issue when it comes on to mental health like how the Europeans are, because they tend to use that as a substitute for not taking responsibility for their crimes. And then we as black people, they tend to use that one and say, no, we don't have that issue because notice it whenever time you have a court case with a European and an African, they always use psychologists to say this person is mentally ill, they have multiple personalities. That's why they do what they do, and they put them in the hospital. When you're a black person, there's no such thing as multiple personalities, or you cannot stand trial. It's not directly to prison because the the European laws was not created and made for Africans or black people in general. So we don't get the same coverage as they do. Anyway, but President Ruto is on the right track, in my opinion, because he already phasing out the US dollar as the main currency in Kenya. He's there phasing out come January 1st, 2024. No more visa requirements for any African countries to visit, as I said earlier, black the Caribbean diaspora, which includes the entire Caribbean, and also the African Americans. So, and it's global. It's a global thing for our black people. They can go to Kenya visa free. Start come January. So that's a great move. Not many countries are doing it. Countries are doing it right now, currently in the continent. Apart from Rwanda, is as implement the same thing as Kenya visa free. But there are a few countries here and there in South Africa, not South Africa, on the continent of Africa, that we as Caribbean people, or even as Jamaican, can go visa free currently. Ghana, South Africa, and multiple other countries, Botswana, and a few more. So, but it's a good. I like this speech. Tell me what you think about it. Do you agree with what President Ruto is saying about the continent or not? Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Boom.